My name is Suraj Kadam and today we are discussing upon circulatory system. The circulatory system is a system of organs that includes heart, blood vessels and blood which is circulated throughout the entire body of a human or any vertebrate. It includes the cardiovascular system or vascular system that consists of heart and blood vessels. The next one is there are four circulatory systems include in sorry the circulatory system consists of major components like heart, arteries, veins and blood. And the functions of that, the circulatory system delivers oxygen and nutrients to cell and takes away waste. The heart pumps oxygenated and deoxygenated blood on different sides. The types of blood vessels include arteries, capillaries and veins. And there are the main three parts of the circulatory system. The circulatory system consists of three independent systems that work together. The heart, it means cardiovascular, the lungs, it means pulmonary, and the arteries, veins, coronary, and portal vessels, it means systemic. The system is responsible for the flow of blood, nutrients, oxygen, and other gases, and as well as hormones to and from cells. The circulatory system can be affected by many cardiovascular diseases. Like cardiologists are medical professionals which specialize in the heart, and cardiothoracic surgeons specialize in operating on heart and its surrounding areas. Vascular surgeons focus on other parts of the circulatory system. Next one is the structure. The circulatory system includes the heart, blood vessels, and blood. The cardiovascular system in all vertebrates consists of the heart and blood vessels. The circulatory system is further divided into two major circuits. That is, first one is pulmonary circulation and a systemic circulation. The pulmonary circulation is a circuit loop from the right heart taking oxygenated blood to the lungs where it is oxygenated and returned to the left heart. The systemic circulation is a circuit loop that delivers oxygenated blood from the left heart to the rest of the body and returns deoxygenated blood back to the right heart via large veins known as the vena cava. The systemic circulation can also be defined as two parts, a macrocirculation and a microcirculation. An average adult contains 5 to 6 quarts, roughly 4.7 to 5.7 liters of blood, accounting of approximately 7% of their total body weight. Blood consists of plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. The digestive system also works with the circulatory system to provide the nutrients. The system needs to keep the heart pumping. Further circulatory routes are associated, such as coronary circulation to the heart itself, the cerebral circulation to the brain, and the renal circulation to the kidney, and bronchial circulation to the bronchi in the lungs. The human circulatory system is closed, meaning that the blood is contained within a vascular network. Nutrients travel through tiny blood vessels of the microcirculation to reach organs. The lymphatic system is an essential subsystem of the circulatory system. Consist system is an essential system of the circulatory system consisting of a network of lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes, organs, tissues, and circulating limbs. This system is an open system. A major function is to carry the lymph, draining and returning interstitial fluid into the lymphatic ducts back to the heart for return to the circulatory system. Another major function is working together with the immune system to provide defense against pathogens. Next is the main part of circulatory system, that is heart. The heart pumps blood to all parts of the body, providing nutrients and oxygen to every cell and removing waste products. The left heart pumps oxygenated blood returned from the lungs to the rest of the body in the systemic circulation. The right heart pumps deoxygenated blood to the lungs in the pulmonary circulation. In the human heart, there is one atrium and one ventricle for each circulation. And with both a systemic and a pulmonary circulation, there are four chambers in total: left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, and right ventricle. The right atrium is the upper chamber of the right side of heart. The blood that is returned to the right atrium is deoxygenated. It means it is less in oxygen and passed into the right ventricle to a pumped through the pulmonary artery to the lungs for reoxygenation and removal of carbon dioxide. The left atrium receives newly oxygenated blood from the lungs as well as the pulmonary vein, which is passed into the strong left ventricle to a pumped through the aorta to the different organs of the body. And the next one is pulmonary circulation. The pulmonary circulation is the portion of the cardiovascular system in which oxygen depleted blood is pumped away from the heart from the pulmonary artery to the lungs are returned oxygenated to the heart via the pulmonary veins. Oxygen deprived blood from the superior and inferior vena cava enters the right atrium of the heart and flows through the Tuskibed valve, right atrioventricular valve, into, into the right ventricle, from which it is then pumped through the pulmonary semilunar valve into the pulmonary artery to the lungs. Gas exchange occurs in the lungs where carbon dioxide is released from the blood and oxygen is absorbed. The pulmonary veins returns the now oxygen rich blood to the left atrium. A separate system known as bronchial circulation supplies blood to the tissue of the larger airways of the lungs. And the next system is systemic circulation. Systemic circulation is the portion of the cardiovascular system which transports oxygenated blood away from the heart through the aorta from the left ventricle where the blood has been previously deposited from pulmonary circulation to the rest of the body and returns oxygen depleted blood back to the heart. The next part is blood vessels. The blood vessels of the circulatory system are the arteries, veins, and capillaries. The large arteries and veins that take blood to and away from the heart are known as the great vessels. The oxygenated blood enters the systemic circulation when leaving the left ventricles through the aortic semilunar valve. The first part of the systemic circulation is the aorta, a massive and thick walled artery. The aorta arches and gives branches supplying the upper part of the body. After passing through the aortic opening of the diaphragm at the level of thoracic 10 vertebra, it enters the abdomen. Later, it descends down and supplies branches to abdomen, pelvis, perineum, and the lower limbs. The walls of aorta are elastic. This elasticity helps to maintain the blood pressure through the body. When the aorta receives almost 5 liters of blood from the heart, it requires and is responsible for pulsating blood pressure. As the aorta branches into smaller arteries, their elasticity goes on decreasing and their compliance goes to increasing. The next one is coronary circulation. The heart itself is supplied with oxygen and nutrients through a small loop of the systemic circulation and derives very little from the blood content with the four chambers. The coronary circulation system provides a blood supply to the heart muscles itself. The coronary circulation begins near the origin of the aorta by two coronary arteries, the right coronary artery and the left coronary artery. And the last one is the function of circulatory system. About 98.5% of the oxygen in a sample of arterial blood in a healthy human breathing air at sea level pressure is chemically combined with hemoglobin molecules. About 1.5% is physically dissolved in the other blood liquids and not connected to hemoglobin. The hemoglobin molecule is the primary transporter of oxygen in vertebrates. Thank you.